caught on the scene. It's a real, real bad place to be.
We met out Woodbridge in a studio called the Hit HQ or something like that. But she was there working as a producer, and I came in as a writer on the team. And then from there, we kind of just snowball effect into
snowball. We started doing demos, and then that's how it kind of worked out in the studio.
Then after that, when we clicked, it was just like...
And we've been mobbing in the basement ever since. So the name QueenDaveed is our name as a production team, writing and producing. And it's kind of a play on masculine and feminine.
Because we can go in the studio just like dudes do.
Yeah, so, because both of us were brought up in the church, that's where
praise Jesus.
The David comes from. It's the story of David and Goliath, where the underdog takes out, you know, the giant.
People sleep on the underdog, and people don't think that when they see us, they don't think that some of the music that we create can happen, so.
Right, so David and Goliath, the story, and then QueenDaveed, because...
Obviously, we're female, so we couldn't put king in there. It just was
that would have been
too
silly.
Much. So I started singing in the womb, out of the womb, wherever you want to call it. And I didn't really start singing in public for real until maybe I was about 10. I was just so shy. I never forget the first time I sang in church. My mom was like all excited and everybody was so happy. And I started crying. People thought, you know, it was like, oh, Jesus, you know, touched her. No, I was crying because I was nervous. I was so scared. But anyway, so I started singing in church, of course. And in high school, like, I never wanted to go to college. That wasn't my thing. And so I ended up going for my mom. Shout out moms and dad. Did that for you. And so when I went to college, well, before I went to college, I had the opportunity to like move to Boston and like go record and everything like that. But I just chose to take the higher road. Not to say that if you don't go to college, it's not the higher road. But when I went to college, I didn't really do music like talking about. Then when I came back home and I ran into Danielle, Joy over here at the studio, it kind of just picked up from there. And I'm back in the music game, independent music game again. But
back in these streets.
Yeah. How'd you, start in music? How was your start? How did you, get into this thing?
Man. Well, my mother was like, you got to do something with your life. And it's like, nah. I was 4. I went to piano lessons. I've been playing the piano ever since. In school, you get to pick an instrument. I picked sax, played sax in elementary school, a little concert band. Took that to middle school, ran with it to high school, was in the marching band. I didn't finish that. Didn't do all 4 years. I wasn't really feeling the style they had going on. So I went to college, got in the marching band. That was cool, Played piano, saxophone, French horn, learned a smidge on the drums, I was around a lot of musical people. And got a lot of connections there, but then once I got out of college, I went back to church and started playing in church. That's where you meet a lot of good musicians, and so I just, try to keep myself around musicians.
Our first project together as a production team is my second mixtape. It's called BYE, Beyond Your Existence, and basically it started out about, a breakup and situations like that, but then after writing and we started to learn each other's style and what we wanted as our own sound as QueenDaveed. It blossomed into a 8-track mixtape where it talks about all different types of breakups from, people that either I experienced or friends or things that I hear. So, yeah, it's very hot. It's coming out in February. We just shot our second video. It's called Murder, which will be the second single that's coming out January 1st. And that song is about emotional murder versus physical
killing
murder.
People, slaying them out here, done with them, chop them up.
But yeah, it's definitely about that significant other killing you emotionally, your heart, your soul, everything that you give to them, and they just, they don't care about it. They just stomp all over everything.
Her was screams. You dug my grave.